garlic, Captain Cook, and Mae West are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is April 19th, 2022. It is the 109th day of the year. There are 256 days left. It is the 16th Tuesday in the 17th week, 31st day of spring. And if today's your birthday, you still are an Aries and your birthstones are still diamond or crystal, we should be moving past those soon. Today is National Garlic Day. Not a fan of garlic. Never liked it. My boys both eat it all the time. I'm not into it. Each year on April 19th, National Garlic Day celebrates the vegetable that's also known as the stinking rose. The fragrant and potent root has been seasoning dishes for thousands of years. They used to have a garlic festival out in Gilroy, California, and then they had a shooting there not too long ago. That's too bad. I went to the garlic festival, I think 91 and maybe 89 and 91, I think. That's what it was. I had a good time. I was living up in Monterey at the time. I was with a really fun group of people at the time, so maybe that's why it was so much fun. I had a good time though. Garlic originated in Asia over 7,000 years ago, so there's no surprise that cuisines worldwide incorporate it into favored recipes. Yeah, 7,000 years, it's had some time to get around the world. Besides just going in your food, a lot of people consider it an herbal remedy for colds, might reduce blood pressure, cholesterol. Modern science has also proven garlic's antibody properties, so yeah, it's good. I do have some bad news for you garlic fans out there. It does nothing to keep vampires away from you, werewolves, witches, and all that stuff. I imagine if they could get a hold of a vampire or a witch or a werewolf, they might be able to do some hardcore research on it, but there are none available in this day and age. Roman soldiers used to eat it. It was supposed to be giving them courage. Yeah, so like I said, very versatile. Keeps, vampires away and keeps Romans on the march. All right, let's see what else April 19th has given us. 1713, with no living male heirs, Charles VI, Holy Roman Emperor, issues the Pragmatic Sanction of 1713 to ensure that the Habsburg lands and Austrian throne would be inheritable by a female, his daughter and successor, Maria Theresa, who was not born until 1717. 1770, Captain James Cook, still holding the rank of lieutenant, sights the eastern coast of what is now known as Australia. This man discovered a lot, being the first European to set eyes on a lot of different places. He charted New Zealand and the Great Barrier Reef, obviously laid eyes on Australia for the first time, Sandwich Islands, Easter Islands, Tonga, Hawaii. Now, in case you don't know much about geography, there's South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands, which are east of the Falkland Islands near Chile and Argentina and all that. Now then, he tried to name the Hawaiian Islands the Sandwich Islands, then they officially changed it to the Hawaiian Islands. Well, it was mostly just foreigners called the Sandwich Islands anyway. They finally accepted that they were the Hawaiian Islands. There's a lot more that goes into that. 1782, John Adams secures Dutch recognition of the United States as an independent government. The house which he had purchased in The Hague becomes the first American embassy. Yeah, it took a while for everyone to get on board that the United States was its own country, even after the Revolution and all that. It took them a while. 1839, the Treaty of London is established in Belgium as the kingdom and guarantees its neutrality. 1861, the American Civil War. The Baltimore riots of 1861. A pro-succession mob in Baltimore attacks United States Army troops marching through the city. 1927, Mae West is sentenced to 10 days in jail on obscenity charges for her play called Sex. Mae West was a film and stage actress from way back in the day. She was born on August 17, 1893, and by 1899, she was already performing in talent shows and things like that. So she got an early start, age 6. She was well on her way. By the time she was in her early 20s, she'd appeared with Al Jolson and a bunch of other stars of the day and was doing pretty good in stage acting. And then she decided to write her own play. She was a little forward thinking for a young lady of the time. These days, we'd look at her as like an edgy type artist. She wrote a play about sex, and that's fine. Don't go see it if it upsets you or whatever. Well, back in 1927, we were a different society. So her show Sex hits the stage, and it's on Broadway, and she's playing the lead role. The conservative critics thought it was horrible and it should be taken off, but ticket sales were really strong, so the show went on. Well, the city got enough complaints from religious groups and things like that, and the theater was raided. West was arrested along with the entire cast. She was taken to the Jefferson Market Courthouse, which is now Jefferson Market Library, where she was prosecuted on moral charges, and on April 19th, 1927, she was sentenced to 10 days in jail for corrupting the morals of youth. Though she could have paid a fine and been let off, she chose the jail sentence for the publicity. She knew it would get what we call today the clicks, but people would be, paying attention now. And she wanted that attention. While incarcerated on then known as Welfare Island, these days it's Roosevelt Island, she dined with the warden and his wife. She told reporters that she wore silk underwear every night to bed while the other girls had to wear burlap underwear. She served 8 of her 10 days and was given 2 days off for good behavior. Media attention surrounding the incident enhanced her career by crowning her the darling bad girl who had climbed the ladder of success wrong by wrong. Mae West had a very long career. Her last movie or job as an actress was in 1977, 3 years before her death, where she died in Los Angeles at the age of 87 in 1980. 1985, 200 ATF and FBI agents lay siege to the compound of the white supremacist survivalist group, the Covenant, the Sword, and the Arm of the Lord in Arkansas. The CSA, as they're known, surrenders 2 days later. 2013, the Boston Marathon bombing suspect, I never mention these idiots' names or anyone that does any mass shooting or anything like that. Anyway, the older of the 2 brothers is killed in a shootout with the police. His younger brother is later captured hiding in a boat inside a backyard in the suburb of Watertown. 2021, the Ingenuity helicopter becomes the first aircraft to achieve flight on another planet. It was sent to Mars on July 30th, 2020, and it landed on Mars on February 18th, 2021. And it wasn't until April 19th that it actually started flying. It's still flying it lands and then they take it up for other flights, but its last flight was just about 11 days ago on April 8th, 2022. Premiered on April 19th, 2013, Hemlock Grove. This was a pretty good show. It was one of the better ones I've seen Netflix come out with. I mean, Netflix started probably around 2011 or 12 when they started coming out with their own series and stuff like that. This one was one of the better ones they had, Hemlock Grove. It only lasted 3 seasons, sadly, but it was a, American horror streaming thing by Eli Roth, and it was done after a book of the same name, Hemlock Grove. But it's a town filled with weird people and these creatures that are killing people. It's pretty interesting. It's definitely worth watching if you ever get a chance, if you like scary stuff. Born on April 19th, Maria Sharapova. She is a Russian former world #1 tennis player. She competed in the WTA Tour from 2001 to 2020. When she first came to the United States to further her career and train, she could only bring her father because visa restrictions made it so her mother couldn't come over for 2 years. When she was 18 years old, she first reached the top of the WTA world ranking. She was suspended for 15 months after testing positive for a banned substance in 2016. She defeated Serena Williams 6-1, 6-4 in the 2004 Wimbledon final. Died on April 19th, 2021, Walter Mondale, Minnesota Senator and 1984 Democratic nominee for president who served as Vice President of the United States under Jimmy Carter from 1977 to 1981. It's strange, not many people remember that he was a Vice President of the United States. They knew he was in politics, but he's kind of a forgotten person when it comes to American politics. He is on the bad side of the most lopsided election night ever. He lost to Ronald Reagan in a landslide. Ronald Reagan got 525 electoral college votes. Walter Mondale got 13, 10 from his own state of Minnesota and 3 from Washington, D.C. Dennis Miller one time described it as being stomped like a narc at a biker rally. Walter Mondale served at Fort Knox during the Korean War for 2 years due to lack of funds for college. After politics, Mondale went back to practicing law for a little bit and then just went on to live a private life. He died of natural causes in his sleep at his home in Minneapolis, Minnesota on April 19th, 2021. He was 93 years old. The day before his death, he made several phone calls. Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, and then emailed all his old staff because he said his death was imminent. 93, you gotta expect it soon, right? All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.